We have some major Toronto Raptors updates as this team has been plagued by the injury bug to start off this season, but a new report reveals that a major debut is looking very, very soon for this Raptors team. So we'll discuss that, including a former Toronto Raptor getting some heat on his newest team and some absolutely insane stuff coming out of Milwaukee right now, because we all know the deep history the Raptors have had on their quest to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it looks like he's leaving Milwaukee very, very soon, and we'll see if the Raptors have any shot in the world to actually bring in Giannis around this young team. So lots of stuff to break down in this video, but before we do, folks, again, if you guys are a part of the 67% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, and you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on regarding this Toronto Raptors team, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're delivering daily Toronto Raptors coverage out here on the channel. Appreciate all the support we've been getting. The channel's been growing like crazy to start off this year. It's been a very fun Raptors season, but let's dive into all of that news. And first thing we're talking about is, fans turning on a former Raptors star. Not Raptors fans, but Raptors fans, a large portion of the fan base already turned on this guy. But Fred VanVleet, a guy that I was a fan of, a guy that I got roasted by you guys a ton for supporting, for coming out here and, I think he's a good player. I think he gets buckets. He's an all-star for this team. Again, was dealing with injuries, very confident in his shot, inefficient at times, definitely for the squads, but similar criticism are getting thrown the way of Fred VanVleet here now at this point, as essentially, it's coming out that Fred VanVleet has to learn, and he should already know this, not to chuck shots when he's off and to get the ball to Jalen Green or to Alfred Sengun, right? Come on, man. And we've seen this from Fred. Obviously, he can get hot when he's hot. Fred VanVleet had 54 points to this team, right? Fred VanVleet can get very hot and cook and should be firing when he's on a hot streak. But when he's cold, things get messy, and he's always very confident to take the last shot to, try to shoot himself out of a slump. And it can be frustrating, especially when you have young stars out there on your team. But, something that's happening across the league, and, it's brought up. It's getting thrown around Raptors world right now. So just wanted to bring that up. But, hey, you gotta take the good with the bad when it comes to Fred VanVleet, and I'm still a fan of the guy, even though you guys still roast me about that. But I just wanted to start off the video with that because I knew that would get some Raptors fans excited to talk about. But we do have a big report to discuss, as the Raptors debut is incoming, and we have multiple updates regarding the injury situation for this team. As we do what it feels like on every Raptors Digest video now at this point, we break down the latest injury updates, because essentially, there's always some news coming out of there on that front, but this is actually some positive updates in regards to the situation, as news has come out that essentially Jakob Poeltl is questionable for Friday's game against the LA Lakers. The first time he's been upgraded from out. He has been practicing with the Raptors 905 this week, and Quickley is doubtful, while Barnes, Brown, and Kelly Olynyk remain out. Chomche as well as DJ Carton are out there with the Raptors 905. So this is big. This is exciting because we have seen how good this Raptors draft class has been, in terms of how Darko Rajaković has been able to develop these young players. But Jakob Poeltl was that crown piece, that essential sort of, the first pick that we took in this year's NBA draft, the 19th overall selection. So, if Mobo's looking good with our 31 pick, Jamal Shed with 45th pick, how's our Raptors draft pick that we took at number 19 overall? How's he going to be able to come in? How's he going to be able to come in and have an impact out there on this roster? So I am very, very excited to see what Jakob Poeltl is able to do out here in his first stint out there in the NBA. Because we know in the past, these updates didn't really matter, right? Because Nick Nurse wasn't going to be playing any of these rookies, any of these young guys out there in the rotations. Even last season, Darko Rajaković had his moments where he wasn't that interested in playing some of these younger guys out there big minutes, or really any important minutes in these games. But a combination of injuries, a combination of Darko trying to have a deeper bench, a deeper rotation, all these guys are actually getting run, having an impact on the court, and allowed to play through mistakes, right? Guys like Mobo, right? He's doing some pretty silly stuff out there at times, driving a little bit too fast, he makes the right read, but the pass goes a little bit too far out of the mix, doing some floaters and stuff that just hit the side of the backboard, and a lot of times coaches just immediately yank you when that stuff happens. But Darko's let these guys get some run, get some opportunities, and Mobo's really benefited from those opportunities because, frankly, he's doing a lot of great stuff out there, even if there are some egregiously, pull your hair out moments with him at times, even though it's all right. I feel like he makes the good reads. I'm going on a Mobo tangent right now, but Jakob Poeltl's going to get some legitimate runs, some legitimate opportunities with this team. Obviously, he'll be eased back in with his shoulder injury that he sustained, so, don't expect some crazy high minute totals for Jakob Poeltl, but I'm excited to see what a high volume, scoring athletic wing is able to do on this Toronto Raptors mix. Obviously, we do have a ton of wing players, right? RJ Barrett, Gradey Dick, Ochai Agbaji, but now with Scottie Barnes out as well, this is a very timely kind of moment for him to come into the rotation, get an opportunity to, come out and show what he can do. The Raptors rookies have taken the league by storm in terms of their ability to play and do stuff out there, all battle, Jamal Shed as well as Mobo. So excited to see what we get from the guy that, is the first real centerpiece that we got in the Pascal Siakam trade. Obviously, Bruce Brown is the big player in it, but, it's really the draft picks that, really facilitated that deal. I guess Ochai Agbaji ended up in proxy becoming a major piece of that Pascal Siakam trade. But that's that there. But we also have some other updates as D'Angelo Russell is probable for the Lakers in tonight's game, while Jared Vanderbilt and Christian Wood are all out. Christian Koloko, obviously familiar to Raptors fans, Lewis, Olivier, and Jalen Hood-Schifino, who's a pretty interesting player for them. I believe they didn't end up opting in to his rookie extension deal, which is crazy for the 17th overall pick, but all those guys are going to be in the G League, so none of those guys will be out there on the lineup for this Lakers team tonight against the Raptors. But this is going to be a fun game. The Raptors have been competing every single night, regardless if we win or lose. I'm excited to see how this team has some energy, comes out and performs against these squads, but, we'll see. Hopefully Jakob Poeltl is able to go. If not, it's going to be probably in the next game, but I'm excited to see how things sort of play out with this Raptors squad. But the next thing we were talking about is, we talked about this a bunch out here on the Raptors Digest. Anyone that's been around through the history of the Raptors Digest knows this is usually a major point of discussion out here on this team, especially back about 2019, 2020, 2021. Big topics for us. Giannis Watch, that music gets, flagged for copyright now at this point, so I can't even bring up the OG Giannis Watch videos, but it seems like he's officially going to be leaving Milwaukee. There was a ton of reports. There was a ton of stuff coming out over the past couple days. Jack broke it down at Courtside Digest. Check that out. Bucks Digest, Nick did a good job out on there. Check out the videos for the full breakdowns. But basically, one report that kind of sums it up. I'm told that Giannis has already let people know in some places that he's eyeing are the Miami Heat and Brooklyn Nets. I'm also told that Doc Rivers has really expanded his reach in terms of his influence and has taken over a lot of the decision-making in the front office out there in Milwaukee. So basically, to give the cliff notes, definitely check out Bucks Digest, check out Courtside Digest for the full proper breakdowns in the situation. But Giannis is still mad that they didn't ask him about the Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard trade. The Bucks are abysmal right now. They are losing bad to different teams. Damian Lillard looked horrible in their last outing in this game, and Giannis Antetokounmpo has already made cryptic comments about, hey, maybe I get traded in the offseason. And then, different stuff. He looks frustrated out there on the court, and he played a dominant game last night, and then no one on the Milwaukee Bucks is better. Chris Middleton's dealing with injuries, Brook Lopez is really old, Bobby Portis is a shell of himself, and Damian Lillard just hasn't looked like the Dame we saw in Portland. So, again, things are looking messy. He's making cryptic comments. Backdoor reports, the basic reports are coming out saying that he wants to leave, he could force his way out, all these types of things. So, do the Raptors have a chance? Short answer, probably not, right? This team is young, it's rebuilding. We don't really it doesn't make sense for us to make a trade to acquire Giannis, because, again, these trades that end up going down mid-season and stuff, they require a lot of draft capital, a lot of pieces to go the way of the other team when acquiring a star player. That's just kind of how it goes. And the Raptors have a lot of assets, have a lot of young guys, but if we were to trade all that right now before these young players have matured, before they have really, come into their own as basketball players, right, you have to sell pretty low on them before they've kind of, reached their optimal trade value out there on the market. So we'd have to give up a lot in order to acquire Giannis, and basically, we'd have to deplete our roster for a fit that doesn't make sense with him around Scottie Barnes, two very similar skill sets, it feels like. Not the most elite jump shooting, but even though it would be really fun to see a Scottie Barnes, Antetokounmpo kind of pairing out there in the form core for the Raptors. Very unlikely. The one sort of thing I've seen a couple people say, because he said the Nets, it means Giannis is interested in a young team, a team with a lot of draft picks, a team with a lot of stuff, and the Raptors are in a similar boat to there, but also with an actual star. So he could say that, but I don't know. I think the Miami Heat are a likely destination, but really more so, I think the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder are more probable places for a trade to actually go down. I'm sure the Dallas Mavericks would love to get into the mix in that, but again, they don't have a ton of trade assets either to make a deal happen. So we'll see how everything shakes out. I would love to see Giannis in a Raptors uniform. Again, this channel is kind of built on those videos, but very, very unlikely in terms of actually getting Giannis on this group. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You guys best think as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.